Hello, this video is about watershed management by Julia Persis F., Assistant Professor of English, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science for Women, Hosur. What is a watershed? Every body of water, example rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, and estuaries, has a watershed. The watershed is the area of land that drains or sheds water into a specific receiving water body, such as a lake or a river. As rainwater or melted snow runs downhill in the watershed, it collects and transports sediments and other materials and deposits them into the receiving water body. What is watershed management? Watershed management is a term used to describe the process of implementing land use practices and water management practices to protect and improve the quality of the water and other natural resources within a watershed by managing the use of those land and water resources in a comprehensive manner. What is watershed management planning? Watershed management planning is a process that results in a plan or a blueprint of how to best protect and improve the water quality and other natural resources in a watershed. Very often, watershed boundaries extend over political boundaries into adjacent municipalities or at states. That is why a comprehensive planning process that involves all affected municipalities located in the watershed is essential to successful watershed management. Why is watershed management important? Runoff from rainwater or snow melt can contribute significant amounts of pollution into the lake or river. Watershed management helps to control pollution of the water and other natural resources in the watershed by identifying the different kinds of pollution present in the watershed and how those pollutants are transported and recommending ways to reduce or eliminate those pollution sources. All activities that occur within a watershed will somehow affect the watershed's natural resources and water quality. New land development, runoff from already developed areas, agricultural activities, and household activities such as gardening, lawn care, septic system use, maintenance, water diversion, and car maintenance all can affect the quality of the resources within a watershed. Watershed management planning comprehensively identifies those activities that affect the health of the watershed and makes recommendations to properly address them so that adverse impacts from pollution are reduced. What are some key steps in watershed management? The first steps in watershed management planning are to delineate and map the watershed boundaries and the smaller drainage basins within the watershed, inventory and map the resources in the watershed, inventory and map the natural and man-made drainage systems in the watershed, inventory and map land use and land cover, inventory and map soils, identify areas of erosion including stream banks and construction sites, identify the quality of water resources in the watershed as a baseline, and inventory and map pollution sources, both point sources and non-point sources. Build local partnerships. Watershed planning should also identify and include the partners or stakeholders in the watershed. Development of local partnerships can also lead to greater awareness and support from the general public. Once individuals become aware of and interested in their watershed, they often become more involved in decision making as well as hands on protection and restoration efforts. Through such involvement, watershed management builds a sense of community, helps reduce conflict, increases commitment to the actions necessary to meet environmental goals, and ultimately improves the likelihood of success for the watershed based plan. Local partnerships can include residents, landowners, federal, state, and municipal government officials, watershed associations, and other environmental and civic groups, local business and industry leaders, agricultural users, developers, teachers, and recreational users. Determine priorities for action. Watershed management planning should also determine what the opportunities are to reduce pollution and address other pressing environmental issues, prioritize those opportunities, and identify a time frame for accomplishing pollution reduction and resource and habitat improvements. Those issues that pose the greatest risk to human health and particular resources or the desired uses of resources might be given highest priority for control and reduction.
Conduct educational programs. The degree of public education and participation in the planning process can greatly influence the success of watershed management. There are many ways to involve and educate the public in watershed management. The formation of citizen review groups and advisory committees can gain public support from the watershed and are an essential component to a successful community-based and locally led effort. These community-based groups and committees can also provide the means to keep the project going once the plan has been finalized to make sure the recommended actions are taken. It might also be helpful to identify a watershed coordinator to help in this effort. Outreach and education efforts can include periodic informational meetings, stream walk assessments, organized storm drain stenciling projects, watershed cleanup days and riparian planting, habitat restoration days, coordination with school systems within the watershed, information kiosks and websites, videos, and newsletters and other printed materials to provide status and progress reports. Ensure implementation and follow-up. It is important to establish a schedule with milestones and some sort of committee to ensure that projects proceed in a timely manner. A monitoring program should also be established to measure success through data gathering. It is also important to identify ways in which landowners can be assisted with undertaking necessary improvements such as low-interest loans or technical outreach information. Finally, it is important to ensure that the recommendations contained in the watershed plan, especially design standards, are integrated into municipal land use regulations. Questions. What is watershed management?